Joining us tonight, all the way from Addis Ababa, is the Vice President of the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, Dr. Tayo Adesoji. Dr. Adesoji, congratulations on what has been a really great day for Nigerian sports. The election of Editor Wahid Oshodi as new president of the federation. I'm sure you must be particularly delighted.
I'm more than delighted. I'm happy for Nigeria. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for myself as a Nigerian, and I'm happy for table tennis players and lovers in Nigeria all together. It's a day of joy for all of us today.
Well, Dr. Adesoji, let me just quickly start by saying that a lot of people have said, look, there have been so many Nigerians who have held positions of authority at continental sports bodies before, but none of these people really, how do I say, impacted on the game in Nigeria, which happens to be their primary constituency. How do you expect that Editor Oshodi's ascendance will change this narrative? Oh, wow. I think we seem to have lost Dr. Adesoji for a moment. Hopefully, he'll join us back. But, let me just throw the question to you. I mean, you've seen this, so many Nigerians. We even have one in, we have a FIFA council member as well. Oh, yeah. We've had people, the vice president of CAF, we've had the presidents of so many continental bodies. But the question remains, how has it impacted on Nigeria?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very valid question. In fact, Wahid is the second Nigerian to be ATTF president. He had Shegun George.
So many years ago.
Yeah, so many years ago. So, I mean, the question you've raised is a very valid concern. But the thing here with Mr. Wahid is he has a proven track record. And every time he talks, you could see that any opportunity he has, he talks about how he wants young players to always come through. Grassroots. He's always harping on that. And he himself is a grassroots guy. And his growth, like Tony chronicled, has been organic. It hasn't been rushed.
Well, sorry to cut you short. We have Dr. Adesoji back with us. Dr. Adesoji, can you hear me, sir?
Thank you very much. The network here is a bit flaky.
We totally understand.
Tony had answered part of it. When he was commissioner in Lagos State, we saw a rapid growth in table tennis. That was when we had table tennis having equipment all over Lagos State. And after he left office, he had used his own personal resources to support table tennis till date. If I take you back to history, from 2013 till date, Nigeria has been hosting world competitions, one type of world competitions or the other. Everything has been on Editor Oshodi. And EBI could do that when he was not in power. So we expect that we'll do more now that he has the opportunity to do it even better. And if you look at our international players, none of them will say that they got to where they are today without the input of Editor Oshodi. And so, I mean, as we speak today, if you want to host any top-notch table tennis competition in Nigeria, and any Oshodi, and maybe one or two are not around, you won't have enough equipment. You won't have ITTF standard equipment to host the competition. So him in power as the ATTF president, it's it has spoken for itself. We will expect that the tide will change for us in Nigeria. It will be a time when I can say it categorically that we will have more equipment that will be available for players to develop. We'll have opportunities for young athletes and young talents to come up. Now we'll have many more of Haruna Quadri, many more of Toriola coming up. And one other area that is lacking again, it's the area of development of officials. There are so many officials involved that are really working for table tennis. You have competition managers, we have referees, we have umpires, we have coaches. This will be a time for us, an opportunity for us. And one other thing that we should be looking out for is strategic marketing. Now we'll be able to see the game of table tennis, meeting the corporate world even better with any Oshodi at the ends of affairs. You know, one other thing is, if you look at the time in table tennis, we had somebody holding position like this before. I think that was around 2007, Engineer Shegun. You know, there was a big gap. Anytime it's the development of talent that will now happen under his watch. We'll be sure that you'll be seeing many more people coming up to hold positions, so that it will not just be about Egypt alone. It will be about Nigeria and Egypt and other countries in Africa. So we expect a good time for table tennis. Now table tennis is next to football in Nigeria. So we will now see table tennis coming up even stronger and better. We have 4 years to develop table tennis in Africa, and for us in Nigeria, it's an opportunity to be able to walk straight to African Table Tennis Federation for support and help. Okay. So it will be a good time for everybody.
Okay. Well, one of the things I want to find out is you mentioned the developmental programs, and in the interview that they granted as well, it's talked about the desire to make table tennis compete with football, compete with basketball, compete with athletics. But I remember that a few times we've had field stadiums, indoor sports hall of the stadium in Lagos, always filled to the brim like it was a football game anytime we had table tennis. But are you intending to spread this gospel to other parts of Africa? Because it looks like it's just, if it is not Egypt, it's Nigeria, you know? How do you intend to spread this to other parts of Africa, East Africa particularly, Southern Africa, and then, of course, West Africa outside of Nigeria?
Beautiful question. I mean, this election will tell you what is coming. This is the first time Africa will be sitting together to elect a leader in table tennis. You'll be surprised that we had 40 countries represented here in Addis Ababa. This is the first time such thing is happening. And that shows the love they have for Enito Oshodi and the passion and the energy I put into table tennis all over Africa, even beyond Africa. And so for 40 countries to come together and unanimously electing Enito Oshodi, other positions didn't come easy for those that got them. You know, it was slim win for quite a number of them. But for him, it was 40-0. In fact, the only country that attempted to compete with him had to step down when the guys saw the overwhelming support that time.
Oh, well, I think we seem to have lost Dr. Adesoji as well. But we thank him for his time joining us tonight on the show. It's actually 11 p.m. in Addis Ababa, so we kept the poor gentleman up from his sleep.